absolutely, according to later ethnographic research, turned to be some sort of fabrication out of one variant of the origin story and the other ones. And so really what we have is this idea of this sort of Maori arrival.
Yeah.
That is also still, what we just did in the beginning, very much part of our popular imagination of the Maori are about. Of course, they came by boat to New Zealand, but whether this was this big settling event or it basically was just one family going there and just 20 years later, some more people turning up or whatever, it's very unclear. It is also particularly unclear because, in fact, it is also something that is very politicized among the Maori themselves, because they do end up recounting their lineages. And basically, your lineage is really a marker of your personhood and of your personal esteem as well. And there are certain Maori iwi, so basically sort of like an overarching ID for community, not like chiefdom necessarily, but iwi is like an overarching structural, societal structuration group that maybe really want to push the Kupe narrative because they, through their own narratives, can sort of trace their lineage. And then I do think that there's this, but there's other people that go for Toi, which is another origin, but many Maori believe is in fact the first person to settle on New Zealand. And then there's other people that say, no, my family in fact came from this canoe and landed with this canoe. This very relatively politicized thing that, basically, if you then, coming to civilization, have to make a choice about who to make leader of the Maori people, it is super difficult.
Yeah.
And maybe, I think, in a way, because it was a smart choice to go with Kupa.
Yeah.
Because no Maori really believes that, this person was in fact ever their leader and it's sort of a figure that is very much held in esteem, but he's not as central as some of the other ancestors or Maori leaders could have been to this. So in that sense, they sort of end up.
For some reason, we are getting
hammered by
barbarians.
Barbarian crotteremes. It's a good thing that Maori have some extra strength when they're being embarked, but I would definitely not engage them further.
No, I don't think so.
Akkad has been taken over by barbarians, right? Or
I'm gonna go for it, I think.
Good.
And in the meantime,
yes, I saw.
Are going to settle here.
Yeah.
Or here, but we're gonna take out the geothermal fishery in that case.
No, don't take that because we need that for power later.
So then we are gonna take out the woods.
Yeah, and I think we already see our third city, which will
over
be
here
over
for
there.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys go over there. I have our warriors here just to keep check because there were some barbarians in the area. I can also kill the barbarian scout.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Turn.
It's very interesting to sort of end up finishing that civilization as a game, of course, necessitates the figure of a leader.
Yeah.
But there is, among the Maori, there is in fact that due to colonial circumstances, they once went for trying to instate a Maori king, because this would have been a person that could have been communicating on what they felt was the same sort of. They felt they would have been taken more serious by the English that at that moment sort of taking over their lands or had taken over their lands basically. If they themselves chose a king, but this was mostly an unsuccessful venture. That was a person that in fact lots of Maori then ended up thanking for this position, like, hey, how about no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
And then the person that did someone, and there still is in fact a Maori king, which is a person that is held in esteem as one of the leaders, but is by no sense the leader of the Maori people.
Yeah.
There's in fact a very nice website out there. We know there's no game audio. There is some game audio. There is some. Yeah.
I mean, we can see it at least.
Yeah. You could boost the audio a little bit.
I can boost it a little bit more.
Yeah. I think even a bit more because we've already put the audio of the game itself relatively low.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I'm going here for. I'm just going through the first ones quite quickly.
Well, we are going to go through everything quite quickly, of course.
Yeah.
But maybe Celestial Navigation is a good
already, you think? So we can start building harbors.
Yep.
Alright. Where was I? I need the production on my main city. Now we actually have a holy site right over here. We can build the shrine, we can build the campus.
But you don't want to. You want to try and not plunk it down on anything that has forests on it.
No, I didn't have. I just gave. It was one of the best locations in terms of boosting it.
Yeah.
Giving it +2. So the problem with this area. Now let's go a little bit on the gameplay aspect because I've been running this thing alone.
That's good.
So we are gathering food here, and here already. This guy will get out of our place because we want more food. Go away. Thank you. And we have this empty location and a couple of forests. Our cities will eventually connect. But I need to start producing something here.
Yeah.
We have a holy site because we want to start with the religion quickly. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So we need 16 faith. We're currently at 0 on.
But we're getting 2 now.
But we're gonna be getting 2. So if we make the shrine, we'll up this.
Yeah.
Or do we want a builder to start building up some more stuff here? I feel like we could use a builder still.
I would even say right now we go for another settler.
We could as well, yeah.
And we settle over there.
So this part of the land which we didn't see, but I feel
send
like
a warrior over there.
Yeah, when the warrior can here.
I think a settler at this beginning is good, so we can get a couple of prime spots.
Yeah,
and then we don't have
here
to
we're having a builder
expand too much anymore.
Yes,
so we can try and make it work with just a couple of cities.
Yeah,
I would. Just keep on exploring with this dude.
This dude is just exploring the seas. Alright. Craftsmanship is there. Last 30% production toward builders instead of +1 production in all cities. I think I'll keep the +1 production in all cities.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And +50 production toward ancient melee and anti-cavalry units. We don't really care. We want to fight any barbarians that might come up. We've progressed significantly our early empire. I'm gonna wait with mysticism because we want to find Pantheon. Found the Pantheon soon.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna wait for this. We're gonna go for the early empire first.
Yeah.
To get all these things.
So how we are of course playing a quick game, which also means everything is going much more quickly, and you've been playing along while I've been discussing the early settlement history of the Maori, and in particular how it's just a weird thing that there's this particular leader that they had to choose in civilization. But so any sort of reflections on our early game?
In terms of the Maori or?
Maori as well as, because basically we haven't really encountered anything yet in terms of resistance from nature, quote.
No, not yet, but it's quite early. But it sort of, first of all, I really like the fact that now places have names.
Yeah, I saw that too.
So, like Watiri River and our volcano.
This is something that I didn't even know beforehand. This was, but in fact, it is really cool. It
is really cool. I had seen it on the gameplays, and I think it's really nice. It really works well with the landscape and also with the feeling that, oh, this is a map, because before it was sort of an empty map and now it gives me a proper feeling of a map.
Well, I think even beyond that, I think, a map is a map, but in fact this to me now feels like a cultural landscape. Because in fact it is not just any name, it's not like a serpent river or whatever. It is a name that is, and I think actually this I've even been on this river, because Erie River.
Preslav.
Or no, I've not been on this particular river, but it is in fact a river that runs in New Zealand itself. All right, wiki crutch me.
Shall I wiki crutch?
Yeah, for a river name, I had to do it. It will be there. It will be there.
It will.
Yeah, it will. It just needs a little time to.
There we go.
There we go.
Wiki crutched you. I think I found our next location.
Maybe we have to get the wiki crutch a little bit beyond these menu items. Then they also have to do the crutch a bit.
Yes, I also have to move the number, of course.
Exactly.
Boom. There we go.
Are they aligned? Otherwise, Krijn is gonna throw a tantrum.
They're sort of aligned, I feel like.
Ah, good. Yeah, never mind.
Also, we are playing this game, not Krijn, so there is that.
There's that.
A builder is coming up here.
Alright, I think that the settler, this looks okay, but I think that the settler has to move, this is really good.
Here, yeah, so, maybe. This location is also good, though. I think we will need two cities, like one city over here and one city over here.
One city over here, because you want to have coastal cities.
Yes.
And in fact, we do want to take over that.
Yeah, your delegation is welcome. We like you.
I also like that, in fact, they are now giving gifts that are culturally appropriate. There were some alpaca wool and things like that being given.
Yeah. Cardiff. City state of Cardiff.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I've been looking at the Cardiff place name for quite a while today.
Yeah?
Yeah, because I've been fixing our Minecraft map
of course.
Of a little place just above Cardiff. Where we're running this, well, we're not running it.
Not yet.
Where we're helping to create this Minecraft project where they're going to be building some mines in Minecraft. Some collieries, some old coal mines. Talking about old coal mines. They are, of course, coal. It's very topical.
Yeah.
It's, of course, one of these horrible types of resources nowadays, seen as. But that's not to say that the heritage that is part of coal production and coal energy making is therefore not interesting.
No.
Because it is, in fact, part of our human story.
Of course.
And that's exactly what we're doing in this project as well.
Yes.
It's a project that is all about unloved heritage.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not entirely fair because, in fact, in Wales, where we'll run this project, they have a great love for the industrial heritage. They just ended up destroying a lot of it at a certain point in time, in fact, when the coal mines closed. And, of course, as with so many old things...
It isn't stone. Isn't this stone?
Yeah, that's stone.
Yeah, but I don't want to build stone heads from one canoe. But I would like to.
¿Por qué no?
Because it doesn't have very high production yet.
But it will be there in. Oh wait, no. We're now looking at.
We're now
Okianga.
Yeah. So I need to.
Which, by the way, is also not really like. Maori didn't have cities.
Mm-hmm.
Not anything that we would. They had villages. They had. Yeah. Larger and denser patches of population. But this is just a region in New Zealand where one of the iwi, one of the Maori tribes,
I feel like we need a granary somewhere.
Lived.
Yeah. I'm gonna give a granary, I think. Get some food going or no? Give me some insight on what you want to build in this city.
I think a shrine is great, or a monument, because we do have to expand our borders still.
Yeah.
And we are going to go for... We have to defend ourselves, I think, on the religious front.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're ever going to go for religious victory unless it just falls our way like that.
Might be.
And I think culture will be an important. If we don't go for diplomacy, culture will be an important way for us of getting victory.
Which I think I'll go for a monument.
All right, and then I think a campus is also very important for us as well.
Our little settler over here. This is a prime location. This is a prime location. These are floodplain locations all, which is good in many ways, because they're going to be very fertile. But you wanted to settle here.
Well, we could.
Or we could go there, but we haven't scouted this place
no,
yet.
let's not do that just yet.
So I'll start moving towards.
That does seem like
this place.
Because there are lots of forests there.
There are forests over here.
But there are also some plots where we can just build.
Yeah.
Particularly in the desert, for example.
I'll go here.
All right, that's good. It's good. Just make it work, and then get the
warrior
over there.
Yeah. So this place, these are all floodplains, which means that they produce more food, but they will flood. But here it's not gonna flood, so we can plunk it down over there where it's not gonna flood. Meanwhile, our guy has explored a little bit. Celestial navigation is done. Good. Okay, research complete. Open technology tree. I'll go for archery, maybe. Just do this.
We haven't boosted anything else.
No, nothing is boosted yet.
Boostable yet.
No, exactly.
We haven't really been plagued by barbarians so much.
I've killed one, but I'll go for the archery.
We of course can mine stuff if we like at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, just go for. I think we will not kill anything with a stinger anyway.
Exactly. We found the South Pole. Great. Oh, there's another barbarian scout. I might just fight the scout over here. Give this guy some XP.
So there's this really nice... because you can either listen to me talk about the Maori, or you can explore it a little bit further yourself. There's no real need for me to plunk it in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this really nice website run by the Maori people, which is a cultural encyclopedia, or basically it's an encyclopedia.
Mm-hmm.
Which you can find at, I think, teara.government.nz.
I am going to build a harbor now that we have the ability, because a harbor I feel is going to be very useful here.
Don't talk to my cultural wisdom, or at least the cultural wisdom of other people that they have collected on the... and that's a really nice... so, teara, altogether, .government.govt.nz is a really nice resource for learning more about the Maori people, because there's a lot of it. You could even read the website in Maori if you like.
Well, that is nice, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, we almost have a builder over there. Things are happening in this game.
They are bound to be happening because, of course, we are playing at a higher speed.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not sitting down to discuss together every single detail.
Yes, exactly. So, we can make a quarry.
I actually think it's exactly a quarry or even
a mine?
No, probably not, because at some point we'll probably be not doing that anymore.
Oh, you can't do it yet.
There's some.
I'm gonna make the city over here.
Yeah, actually,
the city is a perfect location.
Yeah, it is.
Citizens of Taumutu adjust to their new home and keep a wary eye on the river, the nearby river. Yes. So we need production. We need to up the production of this city a little bit. At the same time, this city will become more relevant a little bit later. Not yet.
Actually, what I just figured that it is, of course.
Should I wiki you?
No. Okay. This is just me. I mean, I don't feel that I should know particularly where every single place is in New Zealand. I've only been there for 2.5 weeks. But I completely forgot that us settling next to a volcano is somewhat historically ironic, because in fact the biggest city in Auckland is what's up?
Sorry, I just found.
You found a barbarian.
But we need to drive them out of here, because this is a very good place to build our next city.
Well, then you better get some warriors in.
Better get cooking. Well, this guy needs to get back and heal a little bit eventually.
Yeah, probably best to do that right now.
But he can be promoted, so he will be healed.
But in fact, the city of Auckland, not a Maori settlement. Now there's plenty of Maori living there, but a settlement by the English colonizers, which we can talk about more as well, is very, very close, or basically next to a volcano. It has this volcano right in the middle of the bay that Auckland is located on. I think it's called the Rangitoto.
We want to boost our... I'm sorry for this, but we can appoint a governor. Last time we had Pingala, because we were doing a lot of sciencey stuff. I feel like Reina or Moxa will be more relevant now. Depending on whether we go for trade routes or whether...
I think it's still good with the amount of city-states that we have. Maybe to go for Amani first.
Maybe.
We're not really...
Appoint, yes. Yeah. And we can appoint here on... what's closer to us? Bandar Brunei, I feel like.
Yeah.
Fine.
Now there's this museum in New Zealand where they actually have this, in Auckland, where they have the simulation of what will happen if this volcano ever erupts.
Yeah.
It's gonna be all sorts of horrible.
I
feel actually that the volcano is it has changed, has it not?
I'm gonna see in a second. I need to make a decision on what we are doing here.
We are gonna be building a quarry very soon, so you might as well go for it.
Yes, I'll go for this one.
Is it not...
we are... I'm building quarry now. State workforce. This will happen. We can already find do a pantheon, right? Let's do that.
I think
first.
so, yes.
I'm sorry. I can't see.
Where do you want to... I think what you can just do is...
No, this is not that one.
What?
I want... There we go. It's there. Yeah. Okay. So let's make a decision. We need to choose a pantheon now.
Yeah.
And there are plenty of choices.
I see, there's even lots.
And there is one that's called God of the Sea.
I think... Let's just go for that one.
I mean, we don't... Unless there is something else that's sea-related that I don't see.
There's other good things that we could go for, but I think God of the Sea is actually...
Also, the religious settlements is quite good, considering we already have these. But...
Just God of the Sea.
I feel like we need, to go for the flavor, right?
Yeah.
I found this one.
Yeah.
+1 production from fishing boats.
And actually, that's pretty good, and that's another reason for us to get more fishing boats in.
Exactly. Yes, and in that case, we choose the Civic. We are gonna go for mysticism to start getting scientists and profit, and be able to build the Oracle.
Yeah.
Gives us an envoy.
As a small comment on the game, I feel that with a high speed, it is actually much more tough to go for these barbarian boost thingies, because for example, the Civic, if you kill a barbarian unit or you kill a barbarian outpost, but because of course you don't have so many moves to make in the first game, it's much more difficult, even on a small map, to actually get those boosts.
Yeah.
We've also, of course, because we are on a small map and have a lot of city-states around us, we don't get so many barbarians, because of course barbarians do not settle close to cities, because would they?
Yeah.
This will, by the way, take a long time for your unit to heal like this.
What? It's fully healed. What are you talking about?
No, it's not fully healed, because now anyway it doesn't.
Well, it got damaged, but because I promoted it, it's fully healed. Yeah. And now it has +10 against range. So I'm just gonna just destroy this guy if I want to.
And then it's we'll see if it survives the onslaught of the pikemen.
We'll see about that. But
we've basically already circumnavigated the world.
Almost, yeah.
So let's see. Is there any other spot right now? There is not where we can go for fishing boats.
No, we would have to soon, like there.
There.
And there. So maybe we could even buy 2 tiles. I'm not sure if they will give us this one yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. We are gonna get this one though, which is great. This one gives us a ton of production in this city. We could buy. I feel like we could buy a tile. Let's use Angushi as a.
Yeah, sure.
I will. I'll be back in a second. Yes, go ahead. So I'll keep talking to myself here. I think we can buy one of these to give us a little bit of food. This one will keep us ease for now, though. Angus is coming back. Angus is back. So
I'm growing this workshop, man, about networks, and I need there needed to be some input on that.
So I want to buy one of these tiles.
Okay.
Because
I remember you're a tile buyer, right?
Yeah.
Well, buy that.
We'll buy that one. This one then connects our cities as well, which is really good.
And it's a really good tile.
It's a really good tile. And we can throw in a plantation there.
No.
Why
because that's the Maori thing. I wanted to discuss it. I knew this was going to come. We get bonuses.
Yeah, from the forests themselves.
For unworked.
Yeah.
If we put in a plantation there,
yeah,
no bonus.
That is true. But we need to do something with this poor builder over yonder.
Well, then...
I can make a mine over here.
Or another quarry over there. Or
here,
in fact, you could buy another tile and bring him over there, because that is a luxury resource. I feel that is, in the end, maybe more important than... although there's right now...
It's gonna be tough to do this.
Yes.
But I could buy this and make a quarry.
I like the fact, by the way, that now we're really sort of like... You just have to make this choice to...
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is also, I think, if we're talking about, this new expansion...
Mm-hmm.
And we already talked about it in the beginning.
Yeah.
It is one of those problematic things, because there is apparently no way in which you can both work a tile and still have it be quote-unquote natural.
Yeah.
So the idea is that if you do something within an area, it becomes completely... It's a binary thing. Worked, not worked, which is of course not at all how landscapes work.
No.
Not even on a micro scale.
No.
In fact, thinking about, and also if you do it once, it's like that forever.
It's done.
It's done. You cannot and talking about that, it seems very topical. That project in Wales.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, I went through this region during the Christmas break. Just to check it out.
Mm-hmm.
And what was this completely landscaped, human landscaped region with coal mines. You can actually see it from the old aerial photos, like gashes in the earth from all the excavations, rivers being put out of their course. Now is almost a Rivendell-esque type of landscape.
Yeah.
Which you can still see that there's been plenty of action in the past, but it is... If you just walk around there and just let yourself, feel nature, you definitely feel it there, because there's these beautiful waterfalls and cliffs and trees and lots of ferns. It's a beautiful, beautiful landscape. And it's in this, basically, it's in 20, 30 years that it's been returned to this particular state. Yeah, don't be too greedy, man.
No? Okay.
We will need that for traders and workers and things like that.
I'm gonna make a trader. We already have.
So how good is the Colossus for us?
It's quite good. We get +3 gold, +1 trade route capacity, runs a trader unit, must be built on a coast adjacent to land and the harbor district, which we have. It's not that bad. But...
And the Great Lighthouse we cannot build yet because?
It requires a lighthouse building, which I can build.
Let's just Well, actually, a campus is also.
But the Great Lighthouse and the Colossus more or less gives us the same thing, with the exception that this one gives us plus movement on naval units. Colossus gives us trading.
Let's try them both.
So shall I just build the lighthouse first then?
Yeah, let's go for a lighthouse first.
Okay. We almost have our builder here, which can start exploiting this land, this floodplain.
Exploiting it. Exploiting it.
This guy has got a bit stuck there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey, mysticism. We can build an oracle as well.
They're enthused to try mysticism. They're basically like the hippies in the 60s. Let's try mysticism,
and
people.
I find weird that it has this symbol which is like a cube in a cube. But at the same time, it's sort of an octagon thing. I don't know. I don't know what this symbol is for mysticism. We didn't discuss it last time because we didn't do anything with religion. But it's so weird. I find it so weird that it has this particular symbol.
I like the quote in this one, by the way. I don't think we had it last time. I like to say I practice militant mysticism. I'm absolutely sure of something that I don't quite know. This describes me quite well.
Yeah.
By the way, as people
I don't
that
know
listen to this stream have found.
So we can't use these ones yet, right?
We could not. No.
We cannot, so because they need to go there, or whatever. But we're gonna use them at some point, maybe, for if we want to continue with our like religious situation. So we now choose another civic. Eventually we'll be able to do political philosophy. We need state workforce, of course, for this.
Of course, you need a state workforce, as we've discussed.
As we've extensively discussed.
To even have a political philosophy.
We can send an envoy, and I think I'm gonna go for Bandar Brunei for now, because it's the one that's closest.
What is their specialism? What type of city-state are there? Are they? I think they are
trade.
Trade,
yes.
It's not too bad. We can.
No, exactly, and we get plus more gold. So
yeah. All right.
Confirm. Our builder can build another quarry over here. We really up the production of the city, which is very good. This guy has to get the hell out of there. Get back in the city.
Yeah.
Our other guy
also has to get the hell back because we need we need some more units to start.
Exactly.
You know that all of this is gonna come crashing down when the volcano erupts, right?
I know. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Ancient era ends in 5 turns. The ruler of Bandar Brunei bowed to the Maori who became their first suzerain in the world.
That's great.
This is also weird. Like, oh yes, we have our first suzerain in the world. Maybe we'll have someone else in the future, but now this is our first. And they're happy about it.
I can see. Well, I mean, that's.
And they're not happy they bow, but the fact that it
this
stays,
is, of course, as you know better than I think. This is, of course, this whole city-state model is built on the old city-states of the ancient Near East and classical Greece.
Mainly the ancient Near East, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Where it is this thing that it was actually written in, the history of such a city-state, that in fact it was subjugated by such and such, and then it was subjugated, whatever. Now they recognize such and such as their leader.
Yeah.
And it was, in fact, part of the history of that city-state. So
yeah.
I could see it.
I can see why it's in there. But I just find it weird.
Yes.
And again, because I have this class tomorrow. So the class I have tomorrow. Now I'll be talking. I have this class. It's a Masters in Research Master Seminar about the development of urban societies. So we have the theoretical class, and tomorrow we will be talking about the city of Uruk. You can play with the city of Uruk in the game, of course, if you're playing with the Sumerians.
Yeah.
The city being the first city in the world. That's the whole point of it. And there are a lot of arguments on whether it was or wasn't the first city in the world, and did it dominate the landscape, yes or no, and what were the geographical qualities that allowed for the city to exist, for that matter. Mm-hmm. And this is really interesting because there have been a lot of people, and one person in particular, Guillermo Algaze, who claimed for sort of not necessarily a supremacy, but a primacy of the location. So sort of not exactly an ecological deterministic approach, but the fact that the location in southern Mesopotamia was so favorable that it allowed.
Wait, was it in southern Mesopotamia or
No, in southern Mesopotamia specifically.
or was it ecologically favorable? Or was it like topographically favorable?
Geographically and ecologically.
Okay.
For a number of reasons. And then the city was first founded there, and it became so dominant that its existence is what forced the rest of Mesopotamia to start making cities.
Mm-hmm.
And then they started dominating them by expanding, which is very interesting to think that this idea of people have to respond to this one city to make cities, because otherwise they wouldn't. And it creates this historical determinism that once cities start existing, then there's basically no way back, which is not true, because we know that, first of all, there were places which developed other types of cities, and secondly, people always went back, and especially in Mesopotamia, something that's particularly understudied is these interval periods where cities are sort of at a shaky situation, they're not super dominant, and then people just go back in being pastoralists. And in civilization, you
that said, of course, from a model of a city is something that a city will tend to quickly dominate a region if it is in one.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to be dominated by one, then I can see how it's a good response to start making one yourself.
Yeah.
So I can see there's some merit to that.
But on the contrary, I would argue that there are a lot of places, especially during this later in the empire periods, where empires were much more dominant, that the places that they were the hardest to control were the places where there weren't any cities. Because
clearly.
So it shows that the correct response, if you don't want to be dominated, is to actually not have cities that can't be controlled.
Yeah.
Because it's very hard to control land that doesn't have a single center as a place of rule.
Yes, but of course that's on a very individual person basis. But then there, of course, were already these larger communities that were out there.
Mm-hmm.
That it's just like with the Maori, as we just discussed.
Yeah.
The smart idea may be to just forget about this whole Queen Victoria over there and like, hey, whatever. But there's this power and almost magnetism in these types of hegemonic constructions that couple power with some sort of divine or just some form of ideology that this is where power should reside.
Yeah.
For example, in a city with a monarch, or in an empire with an empress, Queen Victoria, that is very tempting.
Yeah.
Which is also why, in fact, Maori themselves said, hey, maybe we should get ourselves a king.
Yeah, see what happens.
In fact, it's also why they even went into a treaty with the English to begin with. A treaty that is treaty of... I have to look up the name, actually. Wiki crutch me on that.
I will. Meanwhile, we found the Great Barrier Reef. Organisms don't think of CO2 as a poison. Plants and organisms that make cells, coral, think of it as a building block. Well, that is true. Organisms can manage climate much better than we do.
Organisms like that.
Yeah.
Their own microclimates, yes, for sure.
The Inca are the masters of the mountains. Do not challenge me on this ground. Be content with the lowlands. Hey, I didn't do much. What is your problem?
I feel we're bumping into something weird here.
Yeah. We are, but like,
in fact, this is not... What is happening is that we have now some territory in mountains.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's this particular one over there. And although this Inca has no way of ever making it over there, he's upset about it.
Yeah, he is.
Because this is the Inca was this mountain empire.
Yeah.
Which is weird. Because as I just said, there were the highland Inca and there were the lowland Inca.
Mm-hmm.
There were coastal parts of the highland state. And in fact, one of the things that Inca were really doing towards their interrupted formation of an even larger empire or state was expanding into the lowlands, in particular the lowlands of the Amazon.
Yeah.
So it's weird. It's weird.
I want to build a harbor on this city now.
Sounds lovely.
Should I buy a tile over here and build it, or should I buy it where the river gets out? I think maybe I can just build it over here.
Yeah. Why not?
I don't know. Oop. Yes. Perfect. Perfect. Here we just made a farm.
So you want to string along some other farms here?
Yes, I want to have farms here.
Yeah.
Which is gonna flood eventually, but you know, whatever.
I feel that we have a very generation baby boom approach to to environmental problems here.
Everything is gonna get fucked up, but whatever.
But whatever. We're not there anymore at that point in time. Although we really cannot afford to have a baby boom approach because our empire will still be there.
Yeah, exactly. But doesn't matter.
All right.
So I am going to build from here. I think.
Let's build ourselves a monument, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go for a monument. From here, we have one more turn.
We also have to start investing a little bit in, because we haven't even gotten, I think, much culture. Or do we already have another monument?
We have another monument over here.
Oh, good. But we also have to go for some more, like a shrine soon, I feel.
Another shrine, you mean?
Yeah, because we have to found a religion as well.
Yeah. Confusion. I often wonder why you say so little. I believe you have nothing interesting to say. What?
Maybe it's because you don't talk to him. I don't know.
I don't. That you lack ambition to claim land because I believe you lack the acumen to rule what you take. But you just, like a second ago, told us don't get off the mountains. Like, what?
One of the things that I can see, even if diplomacy is now a much more worked out system, is that it's still very erratic.
Yeah.
Also, he is true. Because, in fact, Maori had very little ambition to take land. In fact, the idea of land ownership was very weird to them. Which is what particularly led to the trouble they had with the English coming in. Because there was basically, if I understand it correctly, there was a system among Maori that people that were more or less the iwis that were controlling a land had usage rights over certain things. For example, you could go there to get greenstone.
Yeah.
Or you could go there to hunt birds. Or you could go there to get particularly good bits of plant to make rope with, or things like that. That's what you could do on a bit of land. But you could not own all of it in its entirety. Of course, when the English came in, they did want to own pieces of land in their entirety, where they could say that they were the only ones who could do certain things. And what ended up happening is that Maori chiefs, leaders of Apu, or smaller, sort of below the level of the iwi, the tribe, but chiefs, ended up what the English considered to be selling pieces of their land to them, which the Maori chief understood as giving certain usage rights of that land.
Not actually
saying like, hey, you're now the owner of this land.
Yeah.
And this was a huge problem later on, which actually ended up going for the first land wars, they're called, or New Zealand wars, which was there were lots of Maori killed, but also lots of English settlers and soldiers were killed. Lots of, not in like 10,000s, but quite a good sizable amount for people to not, in fact, want to go to New Zealand anymore. And this was then solved, quote unquote, by the Treaty of Waitangi. And the Treaty of Waitangi is still the founding document of the New Zealand nation. And there's still the national holiday is still called Waitangi Day. And in this particular treaty, it was a treaty both in English and in Maori. And it discussed certain aspects. For example, it established that the Maori were in fact owners of the land, and they could only sell land to the queen, who then could sell it to their colonists. And this was interesting, but of course, in practice, this didn't work out at all.
Yeah.
And there was much more violence and conflict, and in fact, like we've seen all over in the colonial situation, Maori people were pushed off the prime spots for settlement, according to the English, and then their land treaties were taken over again. But it's also interesting that it was in Maori, and one of the biggest things of contention still today in New Zealand is the fact that the Maori text is completely different in many very important regards to the English text. Because, of course, there were lots of concepts, like the concept of ownership, or in fact the concept of what they ended up ceding, sovereignty of New Zealand to Queen Victoria, which was completely, basically had to invent a new word for it in Maori to even start discussing what this thing was about. Because, and in fact, they could have used the word that we've already encountered before, mana.
Yeah.
Which was, it's a type of transference of power, it's a right of say in things. And Maori chiefs would have never agreed to, very nice. I feel that's a good accomplishment to get. They would have never have agreed to transferring their mana to Queen Victoria, and the amount that basically said, you're the one who's like the sovereign of all the mana.
Yeah.
But that's, of course, sort of what ended up happening from a political point of view, at least.
Yeah.
And anyway, that's just how a little thing like a different conception of what it means to own land can basically still drag on today. There's this whole tribunal set up, I think in the 70s, where they discussed the issue of your land ownership and land reclamation and things like that.
Yeah.
Look at this in civilization, and we're looking at this completely different thing, where because of the way civilization works, we have to own land. We have to draw these little borders around it where we get to do stuff, we have usage rights, and others do not. And there's even this weird conception that, in fact, the Incas have something to say about the mountains close to us, because they really think that all mountains should be their territory. So it's weird. All right, let's discuss what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, because we didn't get a golden age. We still get to make a dedication, though, just a normal one.
I mean, I knew we wouldn't get the golden age because, you're playing.
I know. +1 error score each time you trigger a Eureka. Or inspiration, get +1 error score each time you construct a new specialty district. I don't think we'll be doing this that much. And we're not going to start converting, so I'll go for this.
Alright, just do it. Yeah.
Confirm. We get to... we just constructed the shrine over here. Now we can actually build the lighthouse. But we would have to buy this tile next to our harbor.
I think that's fine.
You think it's fine? In 3 turns, however, we'll buy this. But this is not too relevant for now.
But is it not also the one that the crabs are not on there, right?
No, the crabs are next to it.
Yeah, okay, good.
So we buy this. Oops, no. We go to production and we build the great lighthouse.
Right.
There, yes.
Okay.
Our warrior is fully healed now.
I feel that we probably want to build one more settler soon as well.
Yeah, soon.
But first we want to get another, warrior in or something like that.
Our trader can start trading. I just made the trader.
Great.
I feel like we should go for Babylon.
Money and science. Yeah.
Yep. Begin. This. There we go. You start moving back to our city. I'm gonna get him over here and clear this barbaric camp.
Yeah. There's actually there's a nice possibility as well. Look, an octopus. To maybe settle even over on one of those islands over there.
Over here. There is a barbarian outpost here. So
yeah.
We need to take this into consideration. You get to 45. I get to claim my next turn. I have a builder who just has one more build.
Well, farm over there.
I will make a farm over here. Soon. He wants 5 of our diplomatic favor.
And he will give us that.
No, I don't really like that. I'm gonna refuse your deal.
For open borders maybe, but...
No, next time. I'm not sure how we've gathered this. I guess with
buying votes from a suzerain, we get +1.
Yeah. So you build our farm over here. I feel like our cities are doing relatively well. And you start moving. And then our trader will start trading. Let others say what they will, but the real flourishing of classical era culture began with the discovery of political philosophy by the Maori. Yes.
Not really, because we are probably behind there.
No, we are the first ones.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just no. We are the first. Would have said so.
We'll see. So we can now go for
all sorts of things that
have nothing to do
with Maori.
Nothing.
Nothing at all.
I feel like we're gonna be playing passively. So
yeah,
maybe this.
I think towards wonders actually.
This one?
Yeah.
That would be good, and +1 to all yields for each government building and
but
palace,
weirdly enough, we're not going to be playing passively because it's
maybe this one as well is good
to kick some barbarian bump.
Yeah, and get like open up all the trees instead of I feel like this is better, but I like the wanderer approach.
Oh, you're the key here.
Decision.
I think all of them are good decisions for us at the moment. I think that the oligarchy is probably a very short-term decision, but we can still change. So. We can still change our government.
Yeah.
We can do this first,
and then
pick some barbarians,
and
then switch to another. And in a way, of those things, then probably oligarchy would have fitted most.
I'm gonna do +2 influence points per turn towards city states, and not the one that comes double. And here we can get
a wild card. So let's go for production towards ancient and classical wonder. So we do get a little bit of that.
Yeah, because we are already building a wonder.
Yeah.
Yes. And then let's open this technology tree. We've done some good work over here. I feel like better to go for the currency now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And here, we are the first ones. Look.
No, we don't know.
We haven't met the other two.
But drama and poetry is probably good because then we can go for the Marai.
Yes, exactly, which is going to be important. I don't think we'll build a wonder before that.
No. It's going to be important because we can talk about it in our next stream. Because we'll be wrapping up in a couple of minutes.
So, in Taumutu, we need to build something. Now we have a lot of farms, so there are a lot of things happening. I feel like we need... what do we need in this city? A harbor over here. That would be the most ridiculous harbor ever.
Yes, that would be weird.
Maybe we can make another trader is one option. Make a military unit would be another option.
I'd say let's go for a military unit here.
A speed one, for example.
Yeah. Or if wait, go for a settler over there. Well, or we have to go for a settler somewhere.
Here it's in 3 turns.
Okay.
You start moving.
I already know what's going to happen next stream.
What is going to happen next?
This volcanic eruption. It's gonna just.
You can see.
Be spectacular, like
you better believe it.
Our capital is just gonna be.
I think only this tile. This tile is the most threatened one. You'll see.
What sort of wishful thinking is that? This tile, it will flow downhill.
I believe.
I think all of it will be one big mess.
People will wake up. Their living room there will be lava.
Yes.
The floor is lava. For reals.
For reals. Exactly. Oh wow.
The floor is, as a matter of fact, lava. I will go a little bit quickly through these. You want open borders and 11 of these. How about we get this? Can I just completely remove it?
Yeah, I think so.
Why?
Oh, not.
Oh, there we go. There, just have open borders.
You know that this will... you know what happens
What?
when Shaka gets open borders with you? This is just me saying.
Gonna send the warriors?
Nah, but we'll see. We'll see.
You don't want it?
Ah, fine. Hey, man, you're at the wheels here. So
yes, for now. For now, yes, for now. For now. I didn't say forever. Cartography has advanced considerably. We have markets. I'm not sure if we're gonna get iron mine anytime soon.
I don't think so. Because there's no iron
No.
close.
But I would like to get the construction soon as well. I'm gonna go.
Yep.
Here. Now, we can start building stuff. We can build a settler or we can build a galley.
Settler will take a long time, but it still needs to happen.
We can maybe buy a settler.
They're mega expensive. Try and see what they cost.
Mega expensive. I'll go for the settler here, I feel. Yeah. Yep. You, my friend, go there to start healing.
Yeah, in a couple of turns we should be good to take on some barbarians.
I think so.
One more turn and one more turn and one more turn.
That's how it goes.
That's how it goes. So as you can see, we're once again going for this playthrough.
It's definitely going faster than last time.
It's going a lot faster.
Visitors speak in awe of our capital, the largest city in the world. How do so many people live together?
This is like...
Okay. Why? What is this? It's people living in
it's
peace.
Baby booming. It's baby booming.
Oh, it's baby booming.
This is like... Oh, you know why there's so many people living there? Because it's really fertile land.
Yeah. It is really... No, we have a lot of people,
no,
so
actually...
when the volcano erupts, we'll have some left over.
Jesus. Oh my lord, oh my lord. Anyway, now we do have a lot of people because of the fishing boats in particular, of course.
Yes. Civil service has advanced considerably.
Anyway, it's good that I like the fact that we are
We're doing relatively well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Soon we'll have our nice spearman. And we need another trader somewhere. I might buy another trader.
Yeah, buy a trader.
On
Valentine's Day.
Oh,
let us end with drama and poetry on Valentine's Day.
You think so? All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players.
Yes,
said William Shakespeare.
And in fact, what we can also do is talk a little bit about writing and oral traditions.
Tell me, why can't we acquire great writers?
Hey, in order to hear me tell that particular story, you have to wait one more turn, and that one more turn will take place.
No.
Next week.
Oh my god. I'm just warming up and he wants me to wrap up the stream.
Yes.
Why? Why aren't we finding a religion? What do we need? I
need to earn a great profit.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
It's been so long since I played. I always skip religion. I'm like, I don't care about religion. Just whatever. Not even nothing. Just I don't care. And then
have you been losing your religion?
Yeah, I am.
You can see
Let's
over
see
here
where we are.
We're we're doing good.
We're getting on Confucius soon. I mean,
we're getting Confucius soon. So, Matt, what?
So 3 more turns for Confucius.
All right.
It is 3 more turns for Confucius.
That's great. I love myself some Confucius.
So, if it's 3 more turns, then I'm gonna do the theology now.
This guy, you're taking it. The whole title of this streaming series way too serious.
Why?
One more turn.
Yes.
One more turn. Finish this turn and don't think beyond.
I can't not think beyond.
I know. Putting you in the driver's seat, I think one thing that's happened is that I'm basically the one talking all the content, and you're like, yeah, let this guy talk.
I'm gonna play this game.
Play this game.
Micromanage everything.
That's nice because it was better the other way around when I was basically like, oh, really, Aris? That's very interesting. Let me just stop playing this game for a little bit.
I'm providing gameplay content.
Yes,
so people can bash on my horrible civilization skills.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They could never really bust on it because they knew that we weren't really paying attention.
Yeah, but now we act as if we are.
Yes.
We need to build something.
I think one of the nice things with the Maori, you don't have to worry about people trashing your zoning skills because the whole deal with the Maori is that you don't zone them.
No, exactly.
Because you don't build districts that much.
But we are gonna build some districts.
Yeah, we definitely have to build some campuses and, of course, the theater square.
We need the theater square because then we can build. So I think in there I can build a theater square.
In particular, it will be good because every single tile in our city that is still passable, is going to yield cool stuff for us.
I mean, one of the problems here is that this place is gonna flood, I think. So I don't want to
I think probably maybe over there or somewhere over here. There's you can see. Well, that's the world climate. We can check that out a bit later. But probably it allows us to. Because it does show us what, in some occasion, lenses maybe. No? Interesting, because it does show us if you're settling somewhere what will flood and what won't.
Maybe settler? No. Continent. Future, no.
By the way, did you see the continent name?
No. What was the continent name?
Very applicable, but at the
Terra
same time,
Australis?
That's wrong. It's cute, but it's wrong.
It's wrong.
Australis means south. So that should be to the freaking south. We know we're in the north because we nearly hit the North Pole in the start of the game.
In any case, I can take off this part, I think, to make theater square. No, but I don't want to.
Put it near the floodplain.
I can buy this one.
You are. There you go. A nice and hot. Nice and hot one.
Yeah. Why not? Why not?
Just do it.
Boom. I did it. Hey, you come here. You, fortify until healed. You skip your turn.
Alright, Ares. That was the turn. Save this game.
Boom. Save this game.
And we'll be back at it next week.
Save game. Okay, so this is then season number 2 of one more turn.
Of one more turn of Ares and Angus losing themselves, mostly Ares, losing themselves in civilization. And Angus having this cultural crush on the Maori.
Exactly.
I think I have now. I'm really.
You're officially a Maori fanboy.
On Valentine's Day, my Valentine, aside from of course my lovely lady back at home, my Valentine is the Maori.
Yeah, I can.
Which is a horrible thing to say because
it is. But nonetheless, we're gonna be tuning in next week.
Even if we have horrible things to say, we will still tune in next week.
And we're probably gonna be focusing a lot more on some content-related stuff. Since things...
Content-related stuff?
Yeah.
Are you even interested in that?
Yes.
Alright.
Cities are about to go down. Mountains will explode.
Oh, that sort of content.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay. Explosive content.
Explosive content. So, see you next time.